Hello folks, welcome to Land Tamer Stream on a Sunday. Hope your weekend's going well. I've been working through ipv6, been doing pretty well actually, making pretty good headway. Let me show the workbook kind of where I'm at. Despite I did have to work a little bit yesterday. I had a change window, but I was still able to get some labbing done, which was nice. I did get to stream a little bit yesterday. There's some videos I want to make that I just haven't had time. Because I've been focusing on labbing. But yesterday, let's see, I don't remember where I started yesterday. I think ipv6. And I got all through EIGRP and OSPF. I finished all of that. So now I'm on did redistribution, ipv6 redistribution. Really making headway. And what I'm finding in general is that, as I expected, this has just really been a study on kind of a review of the routing protocols themselves. There are not a lot of differences that I've found so far between the v6 version and the v4 version. So it's really been kind of a review and just getting sort of familiar with the commands in ipv6 and how they're different. So we're about to do this redistribution lab. I decided to go ahead and stream this. So that's where we're at. I'm just working on getting the lab ready. So we're labbing in Azure today. Have not been most of the day though. Most of the day I have been labbing using my pro account or my pro instance here on my local machine. So let's get this one ready. We're going to call this, I think this one is, yeah, ipv6 redistribution initial. Redistribution is always fun, right? I don't expect the redistribution to be a whole lot, you know, groundbreaking in terms of its comparisons to ipv4. I can probably expect some sneakiness here from INE, which get a lot of. We tend to get, I should say. Let me wipe all the nodes and go to the startups. And let's just update the startup configs here. This one is, yeah, ipv6 redistribution initial. By the way, standard disclaimer, these are not my labs. It's from the INE Advanced Technologies. Casadix, how are you, my friend? How is your Sunday going? Hopefully well. Hopefully you're getting nothing but good bits in your labs. This is just a little tedious, not too bad though. Let's move this. Something's not like. Oh, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad your Sunday's going well. I'm glad to hear that. So 2 is... I did this on the Pro version. Like I synced my labs from Pro and the Eve, or the Azure servers and Eve. I did my little sync routine. It did not work the way I expected. And I think the reason is because I did not like close the lab properly, which I'm hitting myself on that. But what I'm making sure here is that tunnel, I think I already removed all these, which if I did, that's great. I did not hear, well, I have not pasted through yet. Yeah, I got all the tunnel protections removed because that obviously makes it more difficult for Wireshark captures. I want to see everything, right? So let me get back to my folder. Router 3, we're good. Yeah, tunnel protection is removed. That's good. It looks like in this lab, from what I read initially, okay, we've got multiple folders here. Not link propagation, we got window propagation. That's one of the things we have to watch for here in the Land Tamer stream, is too much unnecessary window propagation, to use a routing term. Now, was that 4? That's 5. Okay. But what I found in this lab, I already read the summary, and it's going to involve, on router 5, we're going to be redistributing RIP, OSPF, and EIGRP. So that's always fun, no matter what address family you're using, right? It's unfortunate I noticed that Dimitri was streaming. Folks, you can do multi-streams, by the way. I don't know if you're aware. But you could always give, like, watch us simultaneously. I forget what the URL is for that. Twitch streams simultaneous. Yeah. It used to be multitwitch.tv. I don't know if that still works. Yeah, you just put multitwitch.tv. Yeah, DM Fiegel, the Land Tamer. See if that still works. At one time, this site was like down. Okay, it does work. Cool. Nice. Anyway, I was unfortunate that I really didn't get a chance to watch any of his stream because I've been labbing. Because he was talking about his Cisco Live EU experience. But I hope to see Dimitri for sure at Cisco Live San Jose, US. I hope he's coming. Normally he does come. He did last year anyway. He came to the US. But I like that to be on. Okay, so we have our startup configs, and now we can, we're in Azure, so we're gonna boot all the nodes. All right, let's get our chat windows. I'm using your early strategy using TFTP Linux and Git to save labs. Oh, cool. TFTP Linux, all right, good deal. Yeah, I think that's really practical when, especially if you're creating your own labs, that's a good way to like keep them in sync. Like I have a folder here that has all the INE configs, so it's easier for me to copy paste, right? But if I was creating my own labs, I'm not going to have a folder for that. So TFTP is the best way to just sort of quickly move between labs and do that. All right, we're gonna get ready to lab mode here. Let's move this over there. Can go away. We're done with the agenda, I think. I'm glad that's helpful. Yeah, to be honest, I have not really used it much, but I have not used many of my own labs yet. People are begging me to do a video about connecting your lab to the internet in Azure. I'm not sure why people have had a lot of difficulty with that, but I just haven't had time. I need to finish my video series, do the last video, and I need to do that video, but too much labbing to do at the moment. So we're going to console to all nodes. We will have to allow. Okay, good deal. Now I should be able to console. By the way, I didn't finish my standard disclaimer. So this lab I'm doing is from INE Workbook, which I do not show on screen for obvious reasons. If you'd like to do the labs yourselves in their entirety, see the lab answer key, see the diagrams, see the validation, definitely check it out. There's a link below to the INE materials, including the workbook. Some of the things like the maps, I do show the diagrams, I do show on screen because those are public domain. They're publicly available. You don't have to have a login account to access the maps and the topologies. So the requirements on this lab are, I'm going to probably open and close VS Code and in any typical stream many times. Let's scrunch this up a little bit. Okay, so this one is ipv6 redistribution. And router 5 is going to redistribute all 5. So OSPF v3, EIGRP v6, and RIP and G. And by the time we're done, R8 reachability to loopbacks. So this is a good topology because we've got in the workbook, I'm not sure why this is. They continue to reference a diagram called Advanced Technology Labs ipv6 diagram. There is no ipv6 diagram, but what we're going to do is we're going to have DMVPN, so router 1 and router 2. Router 4 technically also is on the DMVPN. And we're going to have router 4. This will be a direct link. So this will be a multi broadcast segment, right? Router 5 and router 8, also the same. And generally, I think what is going to happen, it depends on what protocols the routers are running on. Our only instructions, granted, we can do whatever we want, but typically the approach for the real lab is don't change anything. Don't remove anything, actually. Even more important, don't remove any configurations. And generally, you don't want to change any configurations that are already there. They want you to add. So that's the approach I'm going to take unless I find it impossible otherwise. But really our strategy before we redistribute, we could just redistribute and see if they're linkable. But we, as an engineer, we want to know, what is our present design state? What is the future design state going to look like, right? That's typically my approach. To assess and understand the present design state, create the future design state, and then your transition plan to go from present to future design state, right? So present design state, we're actually going to draw on here. Let's close the sidebar. And we'll just figure out what we have right now by looking at the current. We're not going to do show run. We're going to try not to do show run. So router 4, show ipv6 protocols. Okay, it looks like we're running RIP, and of course we're running NHRP on the tunnel interface. Do we have any neighbors? Okay, we have no routes. Yeah, we have no routing. We have no routes learned from any dynamic routing protocols. So this will be our RIP segment, I assume. Let's just let's use this guy and a different color. So this is likely to be RIP. And then then we'll have, let's look at our other routers. So router 1. OSPF, I knew it. I figured OSPF would here. So let's look at router 2. It should be consistent. OSPF 1, OSPF 1, router ID looks good. Oh, let's make sure our router is correct. As far as NHRP. OSPF 1, RIP. and NHRP ipv6. So our tunnel should be up. Show ipv6. Show tunnel. And I do not know my GRE commands. Show ipv6. Anyway, that's something I need to come back to and beef up on as I go through the blueprint. All right, so we got OSPF here. And let's make that one is going to be... we'll go green. Don't like how it does that. All right, so this will be... And then I'm assuming this is EIGRP. I did not see it running on router 5 though. It is, okay, on 8. So it probably is on 5, I just missed it. Yeah, it is, EIGRP. So all these are running, but we don't have reachability. We're not going to have reachability, obviously, because there's no redistribution. Although... yeah, router 5 is going to have reachability to everybody. But he's not redistributing and advertising routes to the other neighbors. Okay. This shouldn't be too bad, actually, because I have no color on that. Interesting. This kind of got a mind of its own, doesn't it? What is even happening? Oh, that's text, yeah. Okay, this will be EIGRP. So I don't really see any problem except with RIP. Well, what's going to happen is we're going to advertise. So let's say we inject, let's take one at a time. EIGRP, we need these routes to go into OSPF so that router 8 can reach router 1 and router 2. When we advertise these into OSPF, that should be fine because this will be advertising outbound. And OSPF, wow, okay, so we've got to do mutual both ways. I think the best way to do this is your problem is going to happen in OSPF and in RIP potentially, because when you advertise external routes into OSPF and then you redistribute OSPF into EIGRP, you can distinguish this. This should be fine, because what we can say is when we redistribute OSPF into EIGRP, in both these cases, we're going to make sure we redistribute internal only. RIP is where we have to be real careful. So when we advertise into RIP, We need the routes that we learned from router 4 to be advertised into OSPF and EIGRP. And those will be external, which will be fine. It's advertising these routes into RIP. It should be okay, because with poison reverse, or not poison reverse, with the RIP split horizon rule, we've only got one router here with RIP and G. So we'll advertise routes that way, and when RIP advertises them back to us, we'll ignore them and won't try to redistribute those. So we should be safe. I don't think we have to do anything fancy except when we distribute OSPF and EIGRP and EIGRP and OSPF, we want to do internal routes only. So I think our configuration is going to be as such. On router 5, we're going to say interface GI0. Well, this will be what interfaces are in use here. Show ipv6 OSPF interface. Loopback 0 and tunnel 0. Okay, so interface tunnel 0. I'm going to say, now I'm not sure of the command structure here. This I don't know yet. I haven't done this yet. I'm assuming it's process ID is 1, area 0. Yeah, I think I have to go into the global, unless there's a... Yeah, so we're gonna have to go into the global process. 6, so it's ipv6 router OSPF1, redistribute, EIGRP, autonomous system number is 100. Metric type for redistributed routes, metric for redistributed routes. Interesting. So I thought I could specify here I can't say just I can specify what they will be into the destination protocol, what metric type. It should automatically let's just do it. Let's just redistribute EIGRP 100 and see what that looks like. So show ipv6 OSPF route OSPF. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? Route. Yeah. Okay, these are routes that I've learned. Now, what are we advertising? No. Show ipv6 route OSPF. Okay, so we're learning router 8. Router 8's loopback, that's good. What we want to make sure is we don't redistribute that into EIGRP. So let's work on our OSPF EIGRP first, then we'll go to RIP. So let's go router, our ipv6 router EIGRP 100. redistribute OSPF 1 match internal. There we go. As long as we could do that one way, then we're good. So what we should have over here now do we have an adjacency? Show ipv6 EIGRP 100 neighbors. I do. I'm not learning any. Show ipv6 EIGRP neighbors. ipv6 route. I always get those backwards. All right. Okay, so I'm advertising. Fine. I'm not really learning anything here, though. So I guess I'm only going to advertise to router 8 in EIGRP what I have as the best path, right? Show. Yeah, I have 2 routes from OSPF. Which is cool. Now I should be redistributing those into EIGRP. Show ipv6 EIGRP 100. Oh, I've been looking at this. These events are cool. I've just started like looking at that. I was like, that's really cool. Redistribution restart. Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh, you know what? I think the issue is this is not a valid route. I'll bet it's not going in the topology table because let's look at router 8 again. All links. P, what does that mean? Passive. Okay, that's good. So I'm connected. That's right. Connected here. But I'm not learning. I need to redistribute. The issue here is a connected. Show run section OSPF. Redistribute EIGRP 100. So it looks like we're learning those. Yeah, we're learning this, but a redistribution into I don't see router 1's. Oh, I'm on router 1, that's why. Okay. See if he's learning. Show IPv6 route OSPF. Yeah. Dead timer expired. What's going on here? Do we have the right type? Point to multipoint. That's right. Yeah, it should not be doing that. Let's put that on here. Interface T0, IPv6, OSPF network. Point to point. No, that's on interface level. Interface T0, IPv6, OSPF1 network. I just configured this. Yeah, IPv6. Oh, I didn't need the process number. Show IPv6 OSPF neighbors. Okay, that's good. Show IPv6 OSPF route. Nope, show IPv6 route. That has been the one thing that has plagued me the most, is when I want to do a show IP route, but for IPv6, do show IPv6 route, but sometimes I'm putting EdgeRP, or I need to be very conscientious of that. Okay. Yeah, we have reachability there. Okay, loading full done. Good. Show IPv6 route OSPF. That's good. I'm learning the loopbacks. I should be advertising them. Show IPv6 EIG RP100. Topology table. Router 8, right. Where do I see redistribution? That's to show IPv6 protocols, I would assume. Redistributing protocol, OSPF 1 internal. Why is he not redistributing? Should have EX routes over here. Or DX. No, EX, that's right. Show IPv6 route. Show IPv6 route. Yeah, no defaults or anything. Why is that? Yeah, we knew that INE would have something sneaky in here. Okay, I think this has to do. Let me think about this. So we've learned. Show run section router. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this flailing on my own. I will just look it up. Router EIGRP 100, redistribute OSPF1, match internal. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's redistribute and rip and just go from there. ipv6, excuse me, router, rip, and G. Now for these, I need to just redistribute everything. Redistribute OSPF 1. We'll try internal there as well. Redistribute EIGRP 100. Casadix, I think you're right, man. Let's see. Yeah, did I see that? The thing is with IPv6, the summarization works differently, right? I think that it so I don't have the option here. I have a suspicion yeah, those aren't so if we do OSPF, for example, IPv6 router OSPF 1, redistribute EIGRP 100, metric. See, subnets is not an option in IPv6 because we don't really summarize the same way, right? Good. It's a good guess. I want to do redistribute EIGRP 100. I have a suspicion, I have a strong suspicion that it has to do with including connected. We'll see. Am I getting anything from RIP right now? Okay, I'm learning router 4s. That's good. Yeah, IPv6 unicast routing is working. Something's missing. Let's look at a document real quick, and then we'll go to... I've had terrible luck today with the Cisco documentation. I've got a good post coming about that. I'm going to call them out on Twitter again. But I have network lessons. Okay, network lessons has a redistribution lab. We know that the routing protocols are enabled on the proper interfaces because we have adjacencies. Oh, you know what? I know why. Sorry, perhaps you need to create route map. Oh, don't be sorry at all, man. Hey, we're in this together, bud. We'll figure it out. Perhaps you need to create route map or prefix. I know what the problem is. Network lessons tipped me off. The metrics. I did not specify a metric. You hinted at that here. But yeah, so the metric, it works for a routing protocol into OSPF. but it doesn't work OSPF into EIGRP. The metric is infinity. As a matter of fact, I think I saw this. If I do IPv6 EIGRP 100 topology, I saw this somewhere. Was it all links? That should have been my clue. Somewhere it said infinity. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that. Okay, so we need to go back. Yeah, this is pretty basic. I should know this. That's okay. That's why we practice, right? So, IPv6 router, EIGRP 100, redistribute, match internal, metric. Bandwidth, what is our current show IPv6 protocols? Those are K values. Show IPv6. All right, we're just going to go with a bandwidth. We'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Delay is 1, 2, 5, 1. Okay, that should fix that. And if we go show IPv6. Hey, Packet Pilot, happy Sunday, my friend. How are you this Sunday afternoon? Hope you're having a good one. Man, I looked up at the clock. It's gonna be evening soon here. Weekends are just not long enough, are they? Redistributing. So I need to do this on both router. Sorry, IPv6 router ripng. Trying to lab some WAS for projects. So fighting ESXi currently. Oh, we're out. Wow. So sounds like a WAS virtual appliance of some type. Cool stuff, man. You doing a Sunday lab project. I love it. I love it. All right, so now we're going into RIP, and we're going to say a metric. We're going to give it a 5. See, you helped me after all, Casadix. You gave me a little hint up there. And as soon as I saw the command in network lessons, it's weird how things happen with your brain, right? How different things trigger. And that's why teamwork is so great. Like, not to go off on a dissertation here, but we have a new person on our team, our cloud team, cloud enablement. Relatively new. I mean, it's a person who has a lot of experience, and he's certified. He has a number of Azure certifications. I think he's architect. But he's new to our group and kind of how we have things set up. But he's doing the best he can to contribute. And it's been great because several times I've been working on something. And we do this thing in our team generally does Agile, Scrum methodologies. We do a lot of swarming. We'll swarm on an issue or on a project. And we'll screen share, and we'll just all work on something at the same time, you know, and just try to get it done as quickly as we can and in the best manner. And he's been trying to, you know, get ramped up on our kind of what we've done so far. And, you know, I helped him realize a number of times where he helped me, and he may not have even realized it. Like, he would ask a question what I'm doing. That question would, I'd be working or troubleshooting a problem with the implementation, a technical issue, and he'd ask me an innocent question, you know, and trying to get caught up on what I'm doing. And I'd stop, take time, explain, you know, and as I was explaining things, like, snaps would fire, and boom, I'd go down a new direction and find the answer and you know, get over that technical hurdle. It's amazing how teamwork, working with other people, does that. And that's one really cool thing. In the beginning, when we started on this team I'm on now, that does Scrum, and we try to adhere to Scrum, it was very foreign to me. You know, so used to, I work remote. I'm so used to working from home, kind of on my own projects, and working at a group and again, and being on a WebEx, you know, we use our cameras too. So working all day with other people and swarming on the same sort of thing was very unusual to me. But I'm really coming around to seeing a lot of the benefits. I mean, we're getting stuff done so fast. It's amazing. But so that's how this helps. That's one thing I really love about the stream too. Especially Casadix and others, faithfuls that come in here, and we'll play around with the lab. And Casadix, you may not have even realized it, but boom, you know, it all comes together. So anyway, back to this. We have to define a metric here, right? I'm a little concerned about the connected still, and I think that's because I'm thinking about BGP. You know, oftentimes when we're doing redistribution in BGP, especially in iBGP, if you're not changing the next hops, you need to make sure that, for example, let's say router 4 is running iBGP and router 6 is eBGP, and I'm learning routes, and then I'm redistributing them, of course, to my iBGP neighbor. If I don't change the next hop self, and I'm not advertising this link, then we're going to have issues, right? If I'm not advertising connected, redistributing connected into iBGP, then we're going to have issues. So, but that's BGP. I don't think that's an issue here. Casadix said, hey, I learned a lot from you, bro. I see through your eyes. It's high level from me, so thanks for the lesson. Hey, you're real welcome. Thanks for hanging out so much. Man, if I ever make it to Brazil, well, I'm definitely gonna look you up, bud, and we'll have a beer or some Brazilian pastries or something together. You know, that'd be awesome. Maybe one day they'll have Cisco Live in Latin America. You know, that would be really cool. I salivated over the Cisco Live EU and all the social media that's going on there, but I speak Spanish, so I do fine in Barcelona. Of course, I'm sure just people who don't speak Spanish do fine there at Cisco Live, but Latin America, man, I hadn't really thought about that. I could do 1 year Cisco Live in Latin America. That would be cool. I don't know where all they go or where they've been in years past. I know last year I think was... Actually, where was it last year? We're gonna divert ourselves a little bit. Cancun. Hey, Dimitri's on board. Dimitri, I wanted so bad to catch your stream, bud, but I've been like solid labbing and just went right into the stream. Good to see you, my friend. I'm gonna go back though and look at your and watch it on YouTube because I'm looking forward to hearing about your, you know, wrap up of Cisco Live EU. Well, should be great. I hope for it. Yeah, Cancun would be cool. Although I hear Cancun is very, shall we say, touristized. I know that's not a word. Have they had it in other places in Latin America besides Cancun? I wonder, because see, that's the kind of thing that would be cool to to check out, like my wife and I can make a trip out of, you know. I think a way you can find out, this is Cisco Live On-Demand Library. 2017 it was Cancun, 2016, 2015. Okay, well, still that's not bad. Barcelona, 2016 Berlin, 2015 Milan. Oh, that's cool. I spent almost an hour talking about CLUR 2094 covering Kubernetes. Some viral news may have been mentioned too. Ah, yeah, I saw your post about that on Twitter, I think. That's cool. I've actually been working with Kubernetes a little bit as well. So I can't wait to watch that. Yeah, I was helping in a group, was it week before last, on a Kubernetes cluster and doing some of the networking for it. They were needing some help with it, and a lot of it was brand new to me, so I had to just kind of jump in, and we figured it out. Okay, so we've got this redistribution. Now I'll bet we see some routes over here. Redistribution 101, folks. You must specify a metric when redistributing into EIGRP or RIP. Now we're talking. Okay. We don't have router 4s yet, and I think that's because we have not yet done. Okay, we gotta do RIP into OSPF. This is where we may have to filter. Although we may not, because this is basically a one-way. Let's see what routes we have learned from RIP here. Only the loop back, and that's fine. I can redistribute that. That's fine. ipv6 route, OS router. Redistribute. RIP. RIP NG, is that what it's called? Probably. And we're going to redistribute it as 2. Don't have to worry about metric there. And we also do the same in EIGRP. Metric 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I did 1. Router 1. Loading the full. Okay, that's because it must have reset the adjacency because of the redistribution command, which is fine because OSPF-v3 supports, what is that capability called? It doesn't necessarily, you're not necessarily going to lose the traffic. Oh, 1. I'm looking for that feature. No ipv6 unicast routing. Yeah, that'll fix it. Frost Hammer, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. What is the feature called? Good, man. Glad to hear you're doing well. I'm thinking of the feature graceful restart. Yeah. So that's why we don't. Basically, we reload. I guess it tears down the OSPF adjacency and rebuilds it, but it doesn't remove the routes from the forwarding table because, or the adjacencies because of this feature, graceful restart. So obviously you wouldn't do, if you're doing redistribution in a production network, you would have an outage window planned. There are ways that you could potentially avoid an outage, right, with features like that. I did actually my change yesterday. I was doing some BGP and I was creating new links between two routers that were already linked. Well, actually, routers were linked directly, eBGP, and then I was going, so I was going, for example, let's say these two are linked, eBGP peering. But I was going to change the routing to go through eBGP and iBGP. So what I'd done beforehand is created a route map here and changed the AS path. I did a prepin so that even before I disconnected this peering, as soon as this peering was up, routes were being preferred this way instead of that way, right? So there's things like that you can do, but obviously I had a change window in place. And I did have a very brief interruption of traffic flow due to some other changes. I was changing the authentication. Anyway, got to specify a metric here. Basically doing mutual redistribution all around. Okay, so now let's look at router 8. Look at all those routes. We've got router 1, 2, and 4 loopbacks. Let's see if we can reach them. 2001. Did I do that right? 152.2:2. Okay, yeah, well, we've still got a reachability issue. And I am suspecting it has to do with directly connected links, but we'll find out. Yeah, so people are not learning about... Let's see, let's start... let's go the other direction. Oh, I should just source it from what he knows about, right? That's probably the issue. Yeah, that was a problem. Okay. So let's see if we've got router 1. Yeah, I mean, I could work on redistributing all these connected, because the source interface, right, was going to be this IPv6 address. And I'm not necessarily, that's not part of the requirements of the lab to also have reachability to the transit links, just the loopbacks. So let's try router 2 just for good measure. Nice. All right, let's go the other way around. I think that's right. 1001, 150.888, OE2. Oh, wait, 151.88. 2001, 150.88, colon 8. Okay, that is not going through. Let's check our requirements. Router H should have reachability to loopbacks of R1, R2, R4, and R5. Oh, we did not do R5, did we? Let's go back to that. Yeah, we're not learning that route. So what we need to do And we need to be very careful about this. EIGRP, we should also include connected, right? Yeah. Unless show run interface L0. So he's an OSPF. Yeah, we need to include connected. So ipv6 router EIGRP 100. Redistribute. I need to learn it anyway. I won't try to get cute here. Include connected. Match internal. Metric. One. Okay. Yeah, now I got router 5. I'll bet I can ping those other guys using this interface now. Nope, not yet. All right. That's because I'm not redistributing it into OSPF. So let's go over to OSPF. Let's see what routes we have again. Okay, so it says, let's break this down here. .8 via tunnel 0. Why would it not be getting back? Let's do trace route. Router 8 to, well, we know it works here. Let's do trace route from here, yeah. All right, let's look at our, we gotta look at our database. Show IP. Why is that going down? That should not be happening. Init. That's probably due to, got some sort of churning going on. Debug. And that's fine. That looks right. All right, so RIP should be advertised. I think this is when we started to have that problem. We're advertising RIP in the OSPF as external. So router 5 should always prefer. Well, no, these will have a different metric, won't it? Yeah, we need to change the metric here. That's probably the issue. Because now we have RIP routes to router 4. And we have OSPF routes. An OSPF route to router 4. But router 5 is not going to use those that OSPF route. Oh, yeah, it will. Let's look. Show IP route. Yeah, we've caused some churn here. Okay, RIP 120. All right, I think what I need to do is we're going to change the AD here. Because we've only got one router. We're not doing redistribution here. So we want to actually prefer any RIP routes on router 5 to any other OSPF routes that it learns. Because when we advertise back into RIP, let's see, we haven't really looked at router 5. We've got, yeah, 1, 2, 8. We do not have router 5's loopback. I still think that should be okay. Yeah, we only have one prefix. All right, let's check router 4. Maybe that'll give us a clue. Ping. D22, yeah, that's right, I think. Yeah, that works. How about router 8? That works fine. I wonder if that adjacency was just down when I was trying to... And I wonder if it's flapping for some other reason, irrespective of this lab configuration. Yes, that works fine. All right, let's go back over here. Ping 2001 158.8.8 source L0. See, that works. Okay, that adjacency just went down. I'm not convinced now that it was because of any sort of redistribution problems. Now that I took a closer look. I think we're okay. I'm going to actually look at the lab key now. See how we did. Traffic going over tunnel, it is. One thing we did not do that it's saying is not redistributing connected. I don't think I have to do that though, to be honest. I really don't. I mean, obviously it's working. Let's see if this stays up. So you don't always have to agree with the INA workbook, folks. Especially because, remember, they run... These labs were built using a different platform from what we're using. The requirement was only for the loopbacks. To account for directly connected subnets, use a separate command, redistribute connected. Because, wait a second. All right, this is a little jacked up because these requirements, right? It says RA has reachability. Or perform mutual route redistribution on router 5. On completing the task, router 8 should be able to reach the loopback network of R1, R2, R4, and R5. We have met those requirements. But in the workbook answer key, it's talking about router 6. I don't know anything about router 6. It's fine that they want me to redistribute connected, but that should have been indicated in the requirements. So I'd have to say those were incorrectly or poorly written requirements. Yeah, everything else looks good here. Okay. This flap of the I have seen that kind of stuff on these images with ipv6, to be honest. I've seen some strange behaviors even when I copy and paste the configuration directly into the lab. So I will go ahead and do connected though, just for grins. So what we're going to do here is ipv6 router EIGRP 100 distribute rip ng include and ipv6 router OSPF1 redistribute rip G include connected. Oh wait. Distribute EIGRP 100 include connected. Now that I expect. include connected. It also does not have in the lab answer redistributing internal. And I think that my solution is actually better there because there's no need to redistribute in this topology any external routes, external EIGRP routes into OSPF. No need to do that. So I disagree with you, Aini, and I can do that. So now we should have a few more routes, but EIGRP. So now we've got like 45 and the tunnel, so we don't need those according to the requirements. So take that. All right, this lab is done. And let's see what the next one. We may just do setup for it. We'll see. Oh, this is to filter traffic. Okay, interesting. So let's go ahead and close out. Good lab though. What took me so long is the metric. So lesson learned there. Yeah, ipv6 traffic filters. Did I wipe? I think I did. Okay, this is the same topology actually. I could have kept that open. Stuff that there's additional, yes, implicit rules. That's right. There are implicit rules about ICMP that you need, right? Related to neighbor discovery, router advertisements. I think there are two native or implicit rules for ICMP. I think they're both neighbor discovery actually related. Yeah, exactly. If you will break ipv6 neighbor discovery, which it needs, it's got to have. We'll start all nodes. So the requirements on this, we'll try to do this real quick. R3's tunnel interface, only FTP and HTTP traffic sourced from v37 or destined to v37. Allow DNS queries and responses sourced from v37 or destined to v37. Sure, ipv6 routing is not affected. Enable HTTP server on R5. Okay. You're correct, because PV6 to multicast has to build the neighborship like ARP does. That's right. Yeah, neighbor solicitation and neighbor acknowledgement. So, or neighbor advertisement, right? All right, so first let's see. So we've got, so router 3, let's pull up our Oh, we don't need the Linux server running. No, I want to grab this bar. So let's see, router 5. Oh, let's see, IP. Is that right? We'll find out first. Before we put any rules in, we'll make sure routing works. No, there's a let's see. What is that command? Well, we could just put a service on here to listen on port 80. I think I've done HTTP on these. Yeah, it should be like ipv6 HTTP server. Which is different than router, which includes DNS and DHCP capabilities. Yeah, it's the same here, but I guess this won't do ipv6. Because I only see IP HTTP server. Come on, Cisco, you want to promote ipv6, but let's see if this works for ipv6 as well. Yeah, that's only We'll try it. I don't think it will work. Like, let's see, show ipv6 interface brief. So 2001, let's see. So this is also IP. Well, I'm going to focus on the rule, and we might change it to something else. Yeah, that's if you're using HTTPS, right? Oh, it says enables on an IP or IPv6 system. Yeah, okay. So I've enabled it. Let's see if it works. Telnet. Let's do it from like router 4. Okay, yeah, so we should be able to telnet. Okay, we gotta open. That's good. 400. We even got a HTTP response. So perfect. All right, it does work. So it's interesting that it looks like there are still commands that say IP. That means IPv4 or IPv6, interestingly enough. A little bit of sort of a inconsistent parser standard there, but we'll go with it. All right, so we've got that running. And so we're talking about router 3's tunnel 0. So we want to allow only FTP and HTTP traffic sourced from VLAN 37 or destined to VLAN 37. So I'm going to say ipv6 access list extended. Say this is router 3. Standards. And we're going to, so traffic sourced or destined. Okay, so we'll use this whole subnet basically. Any traffic with the subnet. So we'll say permit. What is the V37 network? That was not what I was expecting, but okay. So 2000. That was not the output I expected. Show ipv6 interface. Is that why? I've been using that command for a while. Show ipv6 interface. Oh, I didn't put brief. That's why. Wait a second. What happened to my... Oh, are all these down? Okay, well, I'm glad I took a second to look at that. Let's bring the interface up. Those are up. Let's just check our interfaces. Mainly, let's see, 3, 7. Yeah, we'll check all of them. Okay, that's fine. 10. Good. Good. Ah, this one's down. Only J0123. Go figure. Oh, that one is down by on purpose. I know why. That's fine. '23 is down there. That's fine. We wanted to use a tunnel. Okay. All right, we're good. So this is the, we want to permit this subnet, which is so we're gonna have to be careful. We have to make sure that we'll source it from 37. Sourced or destined. All right, I'm gonna need a little help with this, so I'm gonna use the parser. ipv6 access list extended. I don't know why I'm doing extended standards. Well, I have to put the name first. Yeah, that's what's different. And we're going to permit. So we're going to have a couple rules here. Only FTP and HTTP. and then DNS queries. All right, we'll tackle that one in a second. First, we'll do FTP, which should be 21. Is that right? Permit TCP. I'm actually going to say any from the source. No, source has to be this. So it's going to be permit TCP and this will be a 64 prefix. Equals. Now we can do FTP. Actually, I'm going to do FTP is weird. I'm going to use that on the destination. Oh, 20 or 21. Thank you. Thank you, Frosthammer. 20 or 21. Okay. Yeah, I know. I still see it here and there. Amazingly enough. Sourced or destined. So or is a very key word there. Any equals FTP. And there's another one, right? FTP data. FTP is usually, I think, isn't it 21? All right, we'll do FTP for now. And then we want the same for destination. 21 is data, 20 is control, IRC. Okay, that's what I thought. Print TCP, any. 2001 or 5 137 equals FTP. Okay, so that's our FTP. You want to do the same for HTTP, right? Permit any equals. Oh, there's FTP data. Looks like 21 is FTP, 20, so it's reversed. All right, that's cool. Okay, we got to do this then. Did I do that right? I think you need to clone both those lines ending in FTP data. Yeah, right? I agree. And this one. And I don't know why HTTP would not work here as well. We'll find out. www, maybe. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. No, it's mad about something else here. Any destination prefix. Yeah. Hold on a second. Well, how did I do it? Let me do a show run. Maybe I pasted that wrong. Do show access list. Permit TCP any equals FTP. Permit TCP any destination equals FTP. Permit TCP, yeah, permit TCP source destination any. Oh, was I? Okay, let's see. Permit TCP to any destination equals. Don't know what I was doing wrong there, to be honest. How is that different from what I just pasted? Yeah, I don't see how that's different from what I just pasted there, but all right. Okay, so we've got that. Let's make sure this works first, then we'll tackle DNS. Okay, then we want to go to our interface. Interface GI0 137. And then we're going to say ipv6 filter list standards. I thought it was filter list. Or is it interface GI0 137. Traffic filter, there it is. Now we need to, we don't want to remove our implicits. So I think it adds those automatically. We'll see, we'll find out. So this is ipv6 traffic filter. And that'll be out. Oh, you know what? Yeah, source or destined. Yeah, the implicit permits should be there, and there's a way to see them. Yeah, let's see. Show ipv6. Yeah, that's probably show run all. Seemed like there was another command. Ah. No, I won't show it. And all kind of stuff. Can we do all right, I'm going to have to check a source here. I think network lessons. Permit, deny. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, I've reviewed this lesson before. Yeah, there are 3 invisible statements at the bottom, which are permit ICMP any NDRA and permit ICMP any ND NA, sorry, not router advertisements, just and deny ipv6 any. Okay, there is no show command except what maybe Frosthammer has there. Show run all, include permit or deny. Authentication back move deny. Interesting. All right, so then if we look at all right, we do have our routing protocols, and we also have DNS, which is TCP and UDP. So first of all, show IPv6 protocols. Doesn't look like we're running a routing protocol between 3 and 7. Well, how would we traverse that path to get to HTTP? Let me look at our diagram. So we want to test, for example, sourcing from this interface. I guess we could do that. Sourcing from this interface. No, but it has to be in. So we would want to test it like from router 7. I wonder if we have to put that on the tunnel. Router 3's tunnel 0. That's right. Okay, we got it in the wrong spot. But OSP, yeah, that's what I'm checking. I am on the tunnel interface. I'm running NHRP. Wait a second. Oh, you know what? So we're directly connected. So we should be able to reach now. We should be able to telnet to router 5. It is router 5, right? Yeah, router 5's tunnel interface. So like we should be able to connect to 2001, 151, 1234. Yeah. But NHRP, well, it's interesting. Allow DNS responses. Ensure IPv6 routing is not affected. So that's any IPv6 routing. So essentially we need to allow multicast. Three to 7 to 9. But yeah, the we don't even have routing running in this particular topology. So well, it says IPv6 routing is not affected. It won't be affected, I don't think. The only routing protocol is NHRP, but NHRP is, yeah, NHRP IPv6. So, yeah, so this needs to run. Although I don't think this traffic actually, yeah, it does. See, this traffic should actually traverse the underlay interface. I don't think we would be blocking NHRP on the tunnel interface itself. We're going to try it. We need to put DNS on here though. Permit TCP any. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to source this from, that's correct, but router 7 does not have a route to that. So router 7 cannot reach router 5 anyway. But we can reach it using the source IP of router 3's 37 link. So we can do source interface 00137. That won't work either because we don't have, router 5 doesn't know about that. Did we load the topology right? Hold on a second here. So we actually, for this to work, we actually need to run a routing protocol. Let's check. See, somehow in some of these sections of the INI workbook, things get a little screwed up. It's like they're half done. Like they don't even have this map in their map list. They've got IPv4 RIP for v4, but so it's a little screwed up. All right, what I'm going to do, what protocols is router 5 running? OSPF, obviously. So we're going to have to add OSPF and EIGRP and RIP. That's right. This is a redistribution topology. So all we need to do here is ipv6 router OSPF 1. Well, interface T0, IPv6 OSPF 1 area 0. And also on router 7. And we'll do it on router 7 as well. So now we should be able to source that. How do you go with RIP or EIGRP if you're going to route across the tunnel? Well, the thing is, the tunnel, router 5 is configured to communicate on the DMVPN tunnel with OSPF. And that's actually the last lab we just did, was the redistribution, right? So all I need to do here is say ipv6 OSPF network point to point. Should be okay. Yep, show ipv6 route. Yeah, now router 5 should know about router 7. And he does. We need to source that. Let's check on router 7. We know about his loopback. Let's see, show. Yeah, I would not prefer that either, Frosthammer. I would be using jerpy most likely, but actually let's try to connect to 151.12345 source Jazz0137. Yeah, folks, I'm gonna have to break off this in a minute. He knows about the loopback. Does router 7 know about his loopback? He does. So let's try that. Ping 2001 157.777 source L0. What is this garbage? Let's see. Interface T0. ipv6 OSPF1. Show ipv6 OSPF interface. Point to multi-point. Okay. Loopback 0 and tunnel 0. Oh man, the CPU churn at the tunnel. Yeah, exactly. I know, but guys, it's 5 o'clock. I need to actually take a break right now. I think we've got it. I think it would be a matter of adding OSPF here, right? Permit IP any equals OSPF, maybe. ipv6 access list standards. Oh, we could do routing. or do any to FFO2 : 5. That is the protocol number. That's correct. We could also do this, I believe. Oh, :5. And 6. So that would be multicast to any DR, any OSPF routers or DR routers. Yeah, that might work. We'll have to see, but gotta go, folks. Thanks so much for stopping in. Appreciate hanging out. And as always, and we shall see you all back at the latest Monday, if all goes well, tomorrow at work. And hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. Hey, you do the same, Frosthammer. Thanks for hanging out, checking out with us here in the chat. Glad to see you, and we shall see you all soon here on the Land Tamer stream. Have a good night.